All right, hello everyone. I'm Graeme Moore, and I'm going to be explaining Polymath in 5 minutes, explaining why Polymath, in my opinion, is the most exciting blockchain project right now, and kind of some updates of things we've been working on very recently. So Polymath makes it easy for businesses to create compliant security tokens. Okay, that's what we do. But to kind of go back a bit, in case you don't know what a security token is, well, a security token is just a financial security that's represented as a token on a blockchain instead of a piece of paper. So most of you in this room, if you're at this conference, are probably familiar with utility tokens. So these are things like Ethereum, like 0x, many other tokens. And what they do is they give you access to a protocol. And what we've done at Polymath is we said, hey, this technology works really, really well for one thing, which is raising capital. And we've said, why don't we allow people to do what they really want, which is raise capital, and let them do it in a compliant way. So we're allowing people to issue actual financial securities that are represented as tokens on a blockchain. So there's ownership of an asset that you would have with a security token. You'd have investors that are expecting profit, and there would be a regulated offering where there's KYC and AML done on every single person that's involved, not only in the primary market, but also in the secondary market. And why does this matter, right? Like, who cares? Why should we make security tokens? We just have pieces of paper and they work fine. And yes, they work fine, but we can do so many more things with security tokens than we can do with the current financial system in capital markets. You can have programmable equity. So you could imagine you're a company and you want an if this happens, then this executes with your equity. So if company hits X number of profit, then you would issue Y dividend. So you can do those kinds of things with security tokens and smart contracts that you can't do today. It's very arduous and it takes a lot of time and manpower. You can raise funds in cryptocurrency automatically. Everybody who knows about the ICO space is very well aware of why this is very beneficial. You have 24/7 access to markets. Okay, like, why can I not trade stocks on Christmas? I don't understand why that is how the world works. That makes absolutely no sense. You can only trade stocks between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Makes no sense in the world of the internet. Okay, you also have the elimination of many middlemen because we're automating much of the processes with code instead of with humans. And then ultimately we have liquidity for private securities. So this is a big one. Companies right now that have private securities realistically do have a piece of paper that represents their security. And it's very hard to trade. There's a lot of people involved in the whole entire process. And we've said, okay, well, if you can just program all of the regulatory compliance and all of the trading using blockchain technology, then you can make this much more simple to use and you'll involve a lot more people into the market and provide a lot more liquidity for private securities. And this leads to the bigger thesis, which is our opinion is that in 2020, there's going to be $10 trillion worth of security tokens. And this is just based on the math of how many financial securities exist in the world and how much better we think this technology is compared to the legacy system that we're all dealing with right now. But how do we get there? Right? And so what we've decided at Polymath is that we need the ERC20 moment. And so before the ERC20 standard existed on Ethereum, it was very hard to create your own token. You would either have to create your own blockchain, you would have to do a whole bunch of research and development in order to create your own token. But then ERC20 came along, and now very simply, any developer who knows Solidity can create their own token, and they're kind of off to the races, as they say. And what we're saying is we need that moment for security tokens. We need to have a standard where people are comfortable with the technology, where exchanges are comfortable with the technology, and where regulators are comfortable with the technology. And so that's what we're pioneering at Polymath. And we've called that ST20, or at least that's what we used to call it, because very recently we actually submitted ERC 1400. So ERC 1400 is now an ERC that's in the GitHub of Ethereum, and so you can go check it out. You can see what we proposed. The community is very excited about this because we feel like this is going to be the launchpad for sort of that hockey stick moment that we saw in utility tokens for security tokens. And if you can read that in very small print, one of the contributors to this is Fabian Vogelsteller. Fabian Vogelsteller is the co-author of ERC20. So he helped us develop the ERC 1400 standard, and so we're very excited that we're working with him to kind of bring this next standard that's going to kind of create the new hockey stick in security tokens. Woo! And here are some of the companies that are using this standard. There's 7Pass, which is a fund. Coral is a Canadian company. They're going to be the first company on Earth to go public through the issuance of a token, which we're very excited about. Hopefully going to be done by the end of this year. And you can actually go create your own security token right now. You can do it on testnet, so it doesn't cost you any money. You just need to get some Kovan ETH and Kovan Poly to use the token studio. I reserved this ticker the other day, hello. That was a good token. If anybody wants to buy it, you can talk to me later. And last final point, we are a team of 40 now. I was the 5th person on the team 1 year ago, today pretty much. We're growing very rapidly, and if anybody is interested, we are hiring lots of people, especially in Toronto. Talk to me in those places, and have a good one.
Thank you so much, Graeme.